The Stream Key podcast. It is Friday, so as always, it's time for Phone In Friday with 3 special guests this week. First of all, we have SuperVid coming back to the show for...
Hey.
I can't keep track of how many times you've been on here now. How you doing, man?
Twice. So this is my 3rd time. Hello.
Oh, man.
Hello,
it feels
everyone.
like more than that. How you been doing?
Well, pretty good. Been dealing with a lot of school stuff on the side, but now it's starting to sort itself out. So I'm trying to get back on track with everything. Feels
Nice.
good. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but glad to have you back on, man.
Thanks,
And
man.
we got MPI with us here, Mr. Pure Instinct, who is now a podcast host himself. How's it going, MPI?
It's going good. How are you?
Good, man. How was the podcast last night?
I think it went super well. We had a pretty good turnout, and I think we had a really good discussion on the YouTube comment situation that's going on out there.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. That's kind of crazy stuff that's happened.
Oh yeah.
That, by the way, you guys, that is the True Talk podcast. So that's kind of like our sister podcast at TRUgaming. Make sure you guys check them out. If Mob would link that'd be awesome. And of course, we got Veloc TV here as well. Veli, how's it going, man?
Doing very well, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming on once again. I actually am curious how many times you've been on the show since you started doing this. That'd be interesting
can we
to count
count?
up. Yeah, somebody count
Somebody
that.
figure it out. Somebody
Like a
figure
tally,
it out.
a whiteboard. Like
Yeah.
how many times Veloc's been on this show?
It's a lot of times now.
Too many times, I think.
Yeah,
Got to
too
cut it
many.
off here soon.
Gotta get me out of here.
You're fired.
Well, again, guys, welcome to Stream Key. So this show is all about helping you improve your stream, and really just the Friday shows in particular are just talking about Twitch topics and news and just hot topics as they come up. So I like to start these shows off just by going through news over the last week related to Twitch, and there were some big announcements over the past week. Of course, last week we talked about, this rumor going around of more emotes. Turned out literally like 5 minutes after we ended the show, it was not a rumor, it was true. So there have been emote upgrades. I'll quickly go through those really quickly to explain what they are. Basically, affiliates on Twitch now get up to 5 tier 1 emotes based on your sub points, which you max out at about 50 sub points. So you can have a total of 7 emotes for your subscribers, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure, all affiliates here are pretty excited by that. Have you guys already been working on more emotes for your channel at all?
I've had some kind of lined up, to be honest, and so I was kind of prepared for this.
Wow. Just, you had the future sight, man. You're ready to go before they announced anything.
Yeah, dude.
Now I feel like a slacker.
Well, SuperVid, you were saying something there. Have you been working on them too?
No, I have a bunch of them that I have for Better Twitch TV, but I'm just gonna move them from Better Twitch TV over once I start getting sub points.
Yeah, I think that's probably how a lot of people will do it. If they've had maybe like Discord emotes or BTTV, Franker Facey emotes, now you just have an actual place to put them that's global. So how many, I'm curious, how many emotes do you guys have right now? Have you gotten to like those higher sub point tiers yet? Maybe MPI, where are you at right now?
It's rolling out monthly. Am I reading it right?
You're right. You're right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if it rolled out right now, though, I would be at all of them.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you been working on your emotes as well?
I have one that I've commissioned from an artist, and I have one that I am trying to make myself. I'm not a big Photoshop guy, but I have an idea for one that I think is pretty simple. So I think I can DIY that one myself, and it'll be fine.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice. Well, in any case, that's a really cool update for affiliates in general. Partners also got a slight upgrade for emotes. You now start with 6 emotes right away as a partner instead of 2. So that's kind of nice. And then beyond 6, it's the same as ever. You just get more over time with sub points. So, but really exciting, especially for affiliates, I would say, who have been, one emote was so little to offer subs to start with. So as you add maybe up to 5 emotes for subs, that's more of an enticing offer, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty cool. Next up, there was a upgrade to the Twitch highlighter, which is pretty cool. So now you can actually stitch multiple segments of your stream together in succession into one highlight, which I'm really excited about because like that's the perfect tool for YouTube stuff. So
Definitely.
Have you considered using this new tool? Do you already do YouTube content without it? Any thoughts on the tool in general? Maybe SuperVid, starting with you.
I'm gonna be honest. I had no idea that was a feature until you just told me right now.
Someone didn't do their homework.
No, I actually just highlighted a whole segment of my stream a couple days ago, but I just made like a whole like hour-long highlight and just cut it up in Premiere. So the fact that I can just do that in Twitch itself is actually pretty cool. I like that.
Right.
I can see myself using it.
Yeah, see, if you already have Premiere or something, maybe this isn't as useful to you, but I think I hear a lot of streamers who like they know they should do YouTube content and they keep talking about it, but like either they don't want to pay for software or they don't know how to do it. But this tool is free, it's online, nothing to download, and it's really easy to use. So I kind of feel like there's no excuse not to make YouTube content at this point. Now, granted, there are some caveats to this process because Twitch will kind of hit the quality of your video when you put it to YouTube, and it's not the best, but it's still better than having nothing. So I think that people should be using this a lot. MPI, you used to do a lot of video editing, or maybe you still do. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't done as much video editing in a while, but that's something I'm getting back into. Actually, I think we talked about it on a past episode, taking a day if you're streaming, instead of streaming that day, to work on behind the scenes stuff or YouTube content and things, and that is officially what Fridays are for me, is just doing things like that. I like this feature a lot, though. I think, like you said, if someone doesn't have the knowledge, the money, or even maybe just the time to actually edit it out in Premiere or any other software, this is a quick thing. Get it done, get it uploaded, and move on. So I think it's good, and it's probably something that I won't use as much because I have Premiere or just my skills in video editing, and I can do it quick enough and be able to add more to the video with like transitions, different things like that, and not have to worry about taking the quality hit. But for someone either just starting out on Twitch, doesn't have the money to invest or the time, or just really the interest in learning something like that, this is perfect.
Right,
like
absolutely.
You said, almost no excuse to not be doing it now.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do stuff with. I mean, you can even just cut together segments of you talking now and take out the gaps in between, like a lot of YouTube videos do, and you do it all through the Twitch highlighter now. So,
right,
very exciting. Velok, any thoughts on this in general?
Yeah, I mean, I use it pretty often now, especially for like longer clips, because clips can only be, I think, a minute long. So if I have anything that I'm trying to clip that's longer than that, it's really easy to just use the highlight feature.
Right, absolutely. Cool. So that was a big upgrade. Make sure you guys start using that. If you've been putting off YouTube content, now's the time to do it. So there's a couple other things. One pretty big thing is that OBS version 23 came out, which is really exciting. And it kind of took a lot of the things that made Streamlabs OBS so good, and now it's in native OBS. So for example, you have like that chat window on your right. It's just a pop out of the Twitch chat. You also can use the dashboard now, which is really cool. So updating your title, your tags, your directory, notification, all that can be in OBS, which is awesome. There's a ton of changes. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but I'll link a video that White Shadow did for us, and hopefully you guys can check that out sometime, because he goes through everything in a lot of details. So that'll be video. Yeah, it's in the chat. You guys all had a quick look at it. Did you have any thoughts on like big features that you're excited about with the new OBS?
I was really excited about the chat window because, like, for me personally, getting back into the game after taking such a long break, like, it kind of sucks seeing your numbers, and like, especially coming back from a long break, your numbers are just bad. Like, so this chat window just kind of eliminates that temptation for me to click on them, because I'm gonna click on them either way. I'm like, don't do it, don't do it, and then I just click on, like, oh, why did I do that? No. Yeah,
that's actually a big thing, because they don't actually show you the viewer numbers in OBS, this update. It's just the chat and the dashboard. I didn't see any way to have a viewer count. So that might be something that you like or dislike with new OBS. Like if you don't want to see them, that can be useful, I think.
Yeah.
For sure. MPI, Valley, you guys have any thoughts on OBS stuff you're excited about?
I actually have been using SLOBS. So I don't really... I guess I don't have a great opinion because I don't use the software that much. I've been kind of looking over the features for it, and a lot of it seems exactly like you said. It's basically just slobs, but I'm interested to see the captions and how that works.
Yeah,
because that's something that's been I've seen a lot lately, is closed captioning on your streams. And even had someone come in my stream one day and say, hey, do you have anything like this, or will you? I'm deaf and I can't hear you, but I enjoy what I'm seeing, and I enjoy the chat that I'm seeing. So I've been toying with different ways to find a good way to do that, and something built directly into your broadcasting software, that's great. Because so far the only thing has been keep a Chrome tab open as a display capture for a different software, which is fine. But if I can have it natively without running a Chrome tab that, you know, is taking up more resources on the PC, why wouldn't I want that? So I think I'm going to have to download it and maybe give it a try.
Right. Yeah. So that was one of the features too, by the way, guys. There are experimental captions now as part of OBS, which is really cool. And like you said, there are ways to do it already, but nothing built in. And it still says experimental, so I don't know how reliable it really is, but it's still cool to see that they're pushing stuff like that for accessibility. So that's very exciting too. I agree with that. Vela, you have any big thoughts on OBS?
I like it because I just switched from slobs to OBS actually like maybe a month or so ago. So not having like the built-in chat feature was kind of different to get used to. And then also I'm really excited to see it has the auto configuration. I'm excited to see how that works, because for me it has all my settings incredibly high, like higher than I normally would have them. So I turned a couple of them down. I'm gonna see how well it runs like that, and yeah, I guess test it out a little bit.
Right. Yeah, that's a cool feature too. It feels like a lot of the stuff is what Streamlabs OBS already had, and now OBS has it too. But a lot of people prefer OBS to slobs. So I feel like that's kind of a big boost to those people who want to stick with what they know and now just get more features on that software.
Right.
So cool. So that was pretty big. Make sure you guys check that out if you use OBS. Small update to slobs too. They have tag support now, which is kind of cool. So you can actually tag your stuff from Streamlabs OBS software. Small thing. Besides that, okay, the last big thing is that 1099 forms finally went out for tax stuff, like the correct ones, not the wrong ones. Although the CPA we had on here a couple weeks back, Ernest Jones, made a Medium post that even this one might still be wrong.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah, and the problem is that so like as the streamer, you're responsible for accurately reporting your taxes. Now, I don't think it's very likely that like if you are slightly off with your tax forms as a smaller streamer, you're going to get in trouble of any kind. But technically, like you're still liable if you don't report the correct amount. So just be aware of that if you're a streamer. I'll post a link to his blog article too in the chat if you want to check that out. But that is most of the news. I have a couple other things we'll talk about if we have time here that I'm keeping the back burner for now. But did you guys see any other big news on Twitch that I missed, or anything that you can think of?
Not
in general.
about Twitch, no.
Okay.
I saw something about Ninja dropping down to like 26,000 subs as opposed to the 100,000+ or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah, something about that. I don't know how true that is because it was just an article. I didn't get a chance to like get into it or anything. But yeah, I thought that if that is true, I mean that's a huge hit from what he was getting before.
Yeah, for sure. I know he has dropped a lot of subs. Like I think he was out of the top 10 or so, or top 5 for sure. Top 10, I'm not sure. But that is kind of interesting to see, sort of this year versus last year, how that's changed. Because now it's like I think Tim's up there, Shroud's up there.
Shroud is killing it. It's insane.
Shroud has found. I kind of compare it to like how great Ninja was for Fortnite last year. That's kind of how Shroud is with Apex this year. The way I'm seeing it.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's kind of like the face of the stream directory, I would say. Yeah. Cool. If you guys want to call in and talk about that kind of stuff, if you have more numbers on that or info, more than welcome to. By the way, I'll explain that to you really quickly. So you can call into the show now that we're done with news, to discuss your topics and takes. So to do that, type !stream key in the chat, and you'll get a link to our Stream Key Discord. Once you're in there, just join any voice call channel, and we'll get you ready to come on the show. Speaking of, we have a caller already, I believe, who is Steamer Twitch, if I read that right. Yeah. So he's ready to go. He's been talking about coming on for a little while now. I'm going to throw him a friend request really quickly, and then we will get him ready to jump on the call. I think that name is hilarious, by the way, because it just sounds like streamer. Like his name is Steamer the Streamer. Like how much perfect could that be? Steamer, if you're listening, I just need you to accept the friend request so I can add you to the call, my dude. But then we'll be good to get you in here. I believe I sent one to you. All right. Well, while we're waiting on that, I'm going to check on some of the other questions that we have here. So his topic is actually mobile game streaming and ads, interestingly. Let's see if he... I'm just waiting for you to accept the friend request, Steamer, man. As soon as you're ready.
Look, man, we need you to be friends.
There he goes. We're good. All right, I'm going to add him right now to the call, and we'll get him on the show. Here we go. Hello? Oh, wait, I added the wrong thing. Discord DMs, man. Slowly. Discord partner, by the way. So here we go. We're going to add him to the call right now. Hello? Steamer, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man? How are you?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm good. I'm pretty excited to be on the show.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in.
So I had a anecdotal kind of apology for Velok, if that's okay.
Sure.
So I went on his channel. I was in there for about 20-30 minutes, and he was playing Apex, and I had to duck out. So I said, "Hey, I can only watch one more session, and so give me the good stuff." And Velok says, "Oh, I got you, Steamer. I got you." And he didn't get crushed, but it wasn't his good stuff, and I felt like I kind of put him on the spot.
I did not do well that game.
Oh gosh.
The pressure,
you
man.
can read the frustration on his forehead.
Just collapsed under the pressure.
So anyway, my question's related to mobile gaming. I'm that one guy that streams mobile games, and a lot of the games that are out there, these little advertisements pop up and things like that. And so I have kind of a two-part question. One is there a TOS kind of thing that I need to think about? And then secondarily, would any of your guests recommend that I have a switch over screen where I go to something other than what's on my iPad screen in that moment?
So
all right, that's the answer.
Yeah, we're good. So
I think.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, you're good. Okay. I think anything aside from those mobile ads will be better to show. Like, I don't know if you have a transition screen or something, because I think they're only like 30 seconds long for mobile games at the most. So I think switching to something else aside from those, because I've seen the mobile game ads, and they're not the most appealing. So I would find something cleaner to look at for the viewers. I think that'll be a big difference for you.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, you could, because my guess is with a lot of those mobile games, the ads go away when you pay for them, right?
For the most part, I think.
Of them, yeah.
Yeah, because that might be worth doing to save you the hassle of going to get a whole screen made up to just cover that stuff. And that way you're not having to switch between stuff so often. You can just keep it more friendly for the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as long as you're not playing an inappropriate 18+ adults only video game, you shouldn't encounter anything that breaks TOS. But it's still kind of like, hey man, let's watch an ad for Clash of Clans for the 20th time this hour. Like,
Yeah.
you just don't need to see that, right? Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't worry so much about TOS. I would just worry about viewer retention at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I mean, I don't think there's anything in TOS that you would be breaking. Feel like there might be, always refer to it just to make sure. But I mean, we have sponsor banners that we can run constantly. Like, I mean, I have TRUgaming, different things that rotate through my own, and those are basically an advertisement. Granted, it's someone who I want advertised on my stream, and I've chose to put it there. Something like Green said is, paying for a lot of these apps does get rid of that. And I know, paying for mobile games, some people agree with it, some people don't. Another thing you might look at doing is maybe if there's a game that you stream a lot, like it's your main go-to game, maybe reach out to that developer and just let them know what you're doing. It's no different than reaching out to a developer for a console or a PC game. and saying, hey, I really enjoy your games that you make. I want to stream it, and I'd love to be able to show it to my community. Do you have any type of, you know, content creator program, or do you give keys to creators at all? You know, a lot of mobile games are going to go through the exact same thing. You know, they're going to say, hey, this guy streams our game. What's one free, you know, $2 code, when we could be making a lot more revenue if people watch it and enjoy the game?
Yeah, and I would actually add on to that. So mobile games are sort of notorious for being really big on streaming promotion, because I hear a lot of stories from some of these top streamers who their biggest offers by far are from mobile games, things like that. They will pay ridiculous amounts of money just to get streamers to play their games. So that sort of means I would think they're very open to working with streamers in general. So if you send them a message like MPI said, they're probably going to be receptive to that, since they do have less people streaming those games, they're more open. People come along who want to stream them, if that makes sense. Does that help answer your question a bit there, Steamer?
Yeah, it does. So, we purposely try and pick games that are pay to play kind of games, and that does get rid of some of the ads. But at the same time, you can pay for a game and still have some kind of ad experience. So that's not necessarily a catch-all kind of a fix. Secondarily, we're purposely doing blind plays, so people kind of get a real blind play experience. So oftentimes, I don't really know what I'm getting into going into the stream, but that's kind of by design.
That's tricky, because I mean that doesn't just apply to mobile games. But I think mobile games are less streamed, so you don't know if they're really stream safe. Yeah, I would think, like, if you just cannot get rid of the ads, if there's no way around it, then it's probably worth creating some sort of system, like you mentioned, of having a transition screen, or even just like switching to you for a second and taking the game off would be enough, I think. And people will get used to that once you do it enough times, that they'll understand what's going on, and I think that'd be fine.
It could give you, if you go to like a full screen camera, it could give you a second to kind of talk about what just happened in the game, or what you think might happen next, and get chat involved again if they maybe have been in a little bit of a lull just watching the gameplay.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
And then on the TOS side, do you feel like if I do transition over and making an effort to hide that I'm clear from a TOS standpoint?
As long as you're not showing it on your stream, then you're fine. And that's the whole thing about TOS. It just matters what you're broadcasting. So, I mean, yeah, even if there's something that pops up that's not great, like if you just will take that part out, then you're okay.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think the language they use in the TOS is like...
It does. Thank you.
It's like if it's not a main part of your stream, like if you're not making it the main focus, I think it's okay. Like everybody who streams Witcher, if it was 100%, like don't show the boobies, like everybody's toast. Nobody can stream Witcher. So I think there's a little bit of elasticity in the TOS. Still don't want to get close to it, but
don't
at least know that there's something.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, Steamer, hopefully we answered your question there, man. Thanks for, we even discussed this topic before, so thanks for bringing that up.
All right. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later. All right. So we have another caller ready to go, I believe. Let me check who it is here. It looks like it is Just Pandy. Okay. So Just Pandy, I just sent you a friend request. Again, if you'll accept that to me, we'll get you added onto the call. Just Pandy. Do you guys recognize that name? I don't think I do.
I've seen it around the Discord lately.
Okay.
In the I think we talked in the True Talk channel last night, actually.
Oh, nice.
Dang, straight up said, I don't recognize you. Dang.
I'd just like to see, maybe, so you guys might know some of the viewers, give us a little context.
Who is this? Get him out of here.
I'm not bringing this guy back on the
Who
show.
the hell are you?
All right. Just waiting for Just Pandy to accept their friend request. So whenever you get the chance there, Pandy. In the meantime, no one wants to be my friend. We do have a text question as well, so I'll go ahead and read that in the time being while waiting for Pandy. So actually, no, this is her question, I guess. His internet these days, I don't know. Has to deal with Exotic pet. Huh. Oh, we've had this question before, actually. This is such an interesting question. So let me see. All right. Just Pandy has gone AFK, is missing from the stream. So I guess she's not coming on right now. We'll go to a different topic then in the meantime. So one of the news pieces that I didn't mention, which some of this stuff is sort of just drama type stuff that goes around. I don't like to talk about drama for drama's sake, but discussion points are good. So first of all, there was a streamer that did this experiment on the subreddit where he streamed League of Legends. He did basically 2 different tests. So for 30 days he streamed League, and the first time he did it, he I think he described himself as like a rage monster. So he was extremely toxic, extremely loud, extremely just over the top with all his stuff. If you guys know Tyler 1, he called it like Tyler 1 to the 10th level sort of thing. And so that was his first test, and then he did it again on a separate account that was completely separate, and did like the whole chill streamer vibe type thing, where he was just a nice guy. He tried to have a welcoming chat and everything, and he had a lot more growth when he did the first version, which you guys might be able to guess, but it was sort of interesting to see him test this out. So I was curious because I put this in the Discord, and people were saying that it might vary from game to game, like maybe that's just a League of Legends thing or big toxic community game thing. But I want to get you guys' thoughts on the whole toxic versus chill streamers, or I guess maybe just very energetic and over the top versus relaxed and calm streamers. What do you think about that whole experiment and process?
I mean, it makes sense. A lot of people, like, if you're just that chill streamer, there's so many chill streamers to watch. Like, you can choose, like, you can go to any other stream and pretty much that person's most likely going to be a quote unquote chill streamer, as opposed to the more toxic, ragey ones. There's not so many of those, and if you're 10 times as ragey as Tyler 1, people are going to start sticking around really fast because he's hilarious. So it really doesn't make any, like, it totally makes sense to me that was the outcome of his experiment, and it is a cool experiment to see.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see someone actually test it as opposed to just opinion or everybody knows kind of thing.
Yeah.
SuperV1d, you have thoughts because you play League as well.
Oh my god. Don't even
singling you out.
Like sometimes, okay, I try to, maintain my chill streamer vibe, listen to the vaporwave, like talk to me about your issues, whatever. As soon as I start up League, it just comes out, like the rage it just comes out naturally. And me, I'm a big proponent of being real with your audience and just be straight up. But damn, sometimes, it just comes out. So I feel like if I was a big League streamer, I would totally go with the rage monster vibe because that just is natural. Like someone's being an idiot, you're not going to say they're good,
Yeah. Well, and it's also
can't be a liar.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm not. It's a liar.
It's also just more entertaining, I think, because just look at how many chill streams are on Twitch, right? Versus rage monsters, and especially very over the top people. Like, it's just more interesting to watch the person who's doing something different. And maybe part of that is because they're very toxic. But however you want to do different, that probably helps.
Definitely. Gonna write down some notes here real quick.
Be toxic.
Toxic is good.
To be a jerk.
We're not endorsing that chat, please. Do not do that.
TRUgaming told me to be mean on Twitch.
What do you mean, dude? I took your advice.
What have we done? MPI, you have any thoughts on the whole experiment at all?
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see where people get really into like a toxic, over-the-top rage streamer. I mean, it's not my favorite thing, but I see where it's entertaining because it's more happening than just, somebody playing the game and saying, okay, well, I died again. It keeps it moving more. I would like to see this study broadened a little bit. Maybe take on more than just League. Move into other types of games. So you've got League, maybe move into Apex, move into, a story-based game like The Witcher, something like that. See how that kind of fares in the different genres of games that are out there. Because I could see someone wanting to watch League and that person being, really over the top, especially if maybe they're not the most skilled player in the world. That way there's something bringing you in. If it's not the skills, it's, the person being over the top and very, energetic. But then you go watch the Witcher, and it's probably not going to be as fun to watch somebody just throw a fit the whole time. Like, I have to walk more. Why? So I think moving it into other categories could be really interesting to see if that holds up in other genres of games as well.
Right. I think also the fact that Tyler 1 is basically that same type of streamer might make it so that people are already looking for that in the directory versus like if you went to Apex where you don't have that super huge streamer who built a brand on being really toxic and over the top, maybe it wouldn't work as well if you try that there. So that's fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost to be expected from the League directory. Like if you're playing League, at some point you're gonna freak out.
Well, also with League of Legends, there's so little going on compared to like other games. Like if you're like serious into League of Legends, like there's a lot going on, but someone like me, I don't know what's going on in the League of Legends game. So the only thing that's going to keep me is a personality. So if you're smashing your computer, I'm going to stay there and watch.
That's true, actually. That's very true. Like, because there's such a high barrier of entry to League that the person is really all that's selling it for someone who doesn't know what's going on. So that's very true.
I have a friend who is a high League of Legends streamer and very, very talented player, like knows the game in and out. And I can go watch his stream and he's a pretty chill guy. Like he'll just talk about what's happening in the game, what's happening around League of Legends news and things. But he's so good that he doesn't have to be as entertaining as someone who's not as good. So he can bring him in with just that skill alone.
Sure. Gotcha. Cool. I just want to mention that the link is in the Discord if you guys want to check the actual study. That's really interesting. So go check that out. Just Pandy is ready to go finally, accepted the friend request. Thank you.
Damn, hit him with the finally.
So here we go. I want to add her on the call right now. See how this goes. Or him. It looks like it's a him.
God,
there's a lot of pandas that are she's.
You can
in the
say
community.
them,
I'm sorry.
or they.
They're not endangered anymore.
He or her. Hey, Panda, you there?
Hello? Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
what's going on, man?
Hello? Hello?
What's going
Hi.
on?
Hi, how is everybody?
Good, man. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, but I'm just kind of sitting in a parking lot somewhere.
I see that.
Aren't we
Thanks
all?
for calling in.
But I appreciate you guys having me on. I had a kind of weird question. Pretty much what I had to like go through like a little bit of a rebrand, just because I wasn't streaming for a little while and I kind of didn't feel like I was doing what I wanted to do for a while. And I'm just naturally a very weird person. So I was thinking of part of my rebrand is to have my white king pigeon be like my stream mascot. So I was just trying to think of ways that I could utilize him as being kind of like the official mascot of my channel. And he's actually going to be on stream with me because he will sit on my shoulder and just not move. He'll flap around and make noises, but he's a good pigeon. So
That's awesome.
I was just curious how you guys would suggest I go about adding him, like incorporating him into my stream.
All your alerts need to be bird sounds. All of them. That's not a joke. Everything. Like if you're gonna do this, like you need to go bird whisperer. It needs to be ridiculous. Like everything needs to be bird related somehow. That actually sounds hilarious.
We've actually someone else called in to ask about doing that with their pet before, and I think we kind of came to the agreement that like, yeah, you can do it, and people do it pretty successfully. So I would say, especially with an exotic pet that's just not your cat or dog, like you actually have a very unique pet, I think that could work pretty well if you really want to build that brand. Maybe like I could see some animated, maybe you get an avatar of yourself with him on your shoulder or something, and you could do a lot of cool stuff with that.
I was thinking of that, yeah.
Yeah. MPI,
I think there's a lot of streamers who do that.
Definitely, your avatar should definitely involve him. Your emotes, if you can, your alerts. If you have ever looked at merch or have merch, put that hardcore in the merch. Maybe just a pigeon shirt alone would be great. Any way to show it more. If you ever does he have like a cage that he's normally in if he's not on your shoulder?
It's nowhere near where I stream at, so he kind of hangs out on my shoulder. I thought about getting him a tuxedo though, just because he has to wear like clothing to make sure he doesn't poop everywhere.
Yes,
so I thought that would be kind of interesting.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Bird tuxedo, I like it. I'm about that.
Step in the chat said, yes, absolutely. Step in the chat said you should play only pirate games, which would be pretty hilarious. I could see that.
I could do that. I could.
Yeah. SuperV1d, you were saying some stuff too. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying there's a lot of streamers that you could take examples from. I think Baru, where everything branded is just a panda. I think you could really incorporate that with the pigeon. Like, especially with the pigeon, like that's such an exotic pet. I was literally sitting here like, this man literally has a pigeon.
I literally do have a king pigeon. He's about the size of like a mini chicken. Like I think he's like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, something like that. So he's just weird. I also have a rabbit, but my rabbit's not very lovable when it comes to being held and stuff. So my rabbit's kind of out of the question.
Right.
He's camera shy.
Yeah, everything needs to be about the pigeon. Like you could go all in with that.
Yep. I think we all agree. Go for the pigeon, man. Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go all out with pigeon. It's gonna be pigeon everything.
Yep.
That's what I like to hear.
I think it's great.
All right. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you for calling in. That's
problem.
great. Talk to you later.
That dude said bird tuxedo and I'm sold.
Yep.
That's all I need.
They make bird tuxedos? What?
Well, they should. I'll buy 10 of them right now.
Take my money. Here you go. I don't even have a bird.
Oh yeah, I just want it.
I'm gonna throw them on some random birds that I find.
Here you go, man. Here's your
That's a
tuxedo.
stream.
Local crazy person.
SuperV1d chasing, tackling pigeons to put them in tuxedos. I'd watch the hell out of that.
It needs to be a
new branding technique.
Chatting stream.
Yes.
Viral marketing. My business card is gonna be in one of the pockets. That bird's wearing a tuxedo. Whips out the business card.
That's a
going to a meeting
right there.
Oh my god, dude.
All right. So moving on here, as much as I don't want to. Questions are wide open, guys. So I should also mention, because I don't think I said this, if you guys can't get to a phone or headset or camera, whatever, you can still ask questions via the chat. Just tag @TRUgaming, like our friend Steamer here did. You can ask your general question related to streaming, like maybe you have an exotic pet that you want to brand your stream around and want our opinion. Maybe you have an armadillo. I don't know, man. It's up to you. Or any other topics. Sick. Yeah, like anything that you're dealing with. Maybe you need emote ideas. Maybe you want to know how to use the social media better. Whatever, just let us know and we can talk about it here. And of course, if you call in, you get priority to come on the show first. So just so you know. The next question does come from Steamer in the chat. Said, how do you make a video call work for the call-in show? No idea why it didn't work for me. So that's just a simple question there. Basically, you just have to turn on your camera. I'm pretty sure.
Make sure that your Discord is using the right camera as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or that it's connected to Discord. Sometimes Discord doesn't automatically pick it up, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know. That's probably just a thing to restart Discord and maybe try a few times. But yeah, our good friend Pandy got it with his phone, so that was cool.
In a parking lot.
Yeah, it's the first parking lot call-in we've had so far. So making history over here.
I think every Friday I'm gonna just go to a random location and call in.
I'm at Wendy's.
Questions.
Hey guys, I'm at Starbucks.
I'm in a dark alley right now, guys.
Oh god, what was that?
Quick question: what do I do if I've been stabbed?
Oh my god!
Just be mean on Twitch.
So I want to talk about another sort of discussion point that went around. Now this one's sort of one-sided, but I still want to bring it up, and we've talked about it before. Basically, a streamer had this clip that got very popular where she basically said, if you're not paying in any way for Twitch content, you're a leech, essentially. Which is, the direct quote was something like, other people provide money so that you can leech free Twitch content. So that was pretty one-sided in the responses from people, as you can imagine. But I want to get your thoughts, because sometimes we do talk about, like, should you try to expect more for your content if, like, you're putting out very good content and, like, maybe you're depending on it for money. Do you guys think that's ever the right way to go with Twitch? Is it viable at all?
That's
Velox?
so wrong.
Not the way that she did it.
Why was there not a riot? Like that makes me angry.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post the clip in the Discord here. Well, it's actually a YouTube clip, but I'll post it in the chat. And importantly, this clip, as things do at Twitch, was kind of taken out of context. I still want to talk about it because it did get circulated and there was a lot of discussion about it, but there are the beginning and after clips for that in the server if you want to see the whole story of why she said that. But basically, it's kind of interesting to talk about, you know, I go back to when Shroud and Doc had the podcast, where Doc kind of comes at streaming at the opinion of, like, I'm making this great content, I deserve the money, which is kind of Doc's whole thing. Whereas Shroud was like, well, it's still a free platform and people can sub or not, and I'll try and make a good viewer experience for them either way. So I'm kind of curious to get, like, your all thoughts on where you fall on that spectrum of you should pay for everything or everything should be free. What do you guys think? SuperVid,
Wow.
you're mulling it over there.
I think that, you know, Twitch is a free platform. Nobody's truly obligated to pay you anything. And that's why they're called donate. Like, nobody's obligated to sub to you or to donate to you or anything. If anything, the obligation rests on you to keep providing that quality content, even if somebody can't pay. Like, nobody truly deserves anything on this platform, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think somebody saying that you should pay for the content I create, either you're creating some content that nobody's ever seen before, or you're just really entitled. Like, that's kind of how it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah. I just watched that little clip, and the direct quote was, "Other people pay money so you can be a cheap ass."
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's
wow.
It's a little edgy there for sure.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's just so. Oh wow! There's so many other platforms where you can make people pay money to be there, and
Right.
like, if you don't like that it's free, leave, I guess.
Right.
You know, like,
So
Right.
I've kind of had the thought recently that you can, well, I think it's okay to go into Twitch with, like, a business mindset in the purest sense of, like, I'm doing this to make money. Like, I'm not going to knock you for doing that. But if you're just trying to make money off a business, this is, like, the stupidest way to do it. Like, do not waste your time
100%.
streaming on Twitch. There are so many better ways to do that, you know?
Oh, I need a lot of money. Let me go ahead and make money on Twitch.
Yeah. Like, go get a job, man. What are you doing here? Like, just streaming and hoping someone will send bits or something. Come on. There's better ways to use your time there.
My first day, I'm gonna make $1,000. It'll be great.
Right.
Well, like, that's the sad truth, though. Like, you hear that so often from people who are like, man, I'm gonna start making money playing video games. It's the easy life. This guy does it, I can do it. It's so easy.
They
But
break
it
it
doesn't
down to
help,
the
like-
easiest, simplest things. Like, all he does is play video games. I play video games. I have a computer. I can stream this on the internet. I can play video games and I can make money just like him, because that's all that Twitch is. Like,
Yep.
there's so much more to it. And like,
It's
people
true,
just see money and they see them playing video games and they just correlate those two directly. And that's not even, like, video games aren't even part of it if you think about it.
Mhm.
It's insane. Like, video games are just a thing for, like, us to distract you for a little bit, and so we don't have to try to come up with something interesting to say every 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Dude, there's some games you have to do that, though. Like,
Yeah.
you're playing, I don't know, like checkers or something. Like, oh my god, you went diagonal this time. Like, oh my god, Pog, bro.
Now give me your money.
Please.
Look, I went diagonal twice, man. $10. That's what I'm asking for.
MPI, you have any thoughts on this whole topic?
I have a lot of thoughts on a lot of different things about this topic. I mean, Veli, you and I both are, full-time content creators right now. So this is, our livelihood. And I will say that that's what I want to do. But like Green said, if this is where you think you're going to make $1 million, you're dumb. This is not the $1 million business option.
I took a huge pay cut to do this.
Yep.
You better be thankful.
And I appreciate any person ever who subs to the channel or tips anything at all. And if you can't do that, that's fine. I didn't come into this thinking I was going to be a millionaire off of it. I wanted to create content that I enjoyed, that other people would enjoy, and to maybe like Veli said, distract you for a little bit, not just from the game, but just from life in general. You go to your 9-to-5 job that you hate with your boss that you hate, and you come home and you're just like, man, I just want to watch somebody who's going to make me laugh or who's going to make me feel accepted for who I am. That's what it's all about. And if I can do that and make money at the same time, even if it's just enough to pay my bills, that's all I need. I think saying, this guy gave me $50. Now you're going to be a leech off of it. You have to give me $50. No, get out. You're in the wrong business.
That's $1 per laugh.
Yeah, it's like, say you're a photographer. You take a photo of something. Somebody buys it to hang in their house. You take this beautiful landscape photo and sell it for however much you sell it for. Somebody hangs it in their house, and then you say, all right, hold on. Uncle Timmy came over. He looked at that photo. I need another $100 from you, man. Come on. That's not how it works. It's art. Or it's the same machine
right there.
Yeah, or like if I bought an album and I let my friend come listen to it, he has to pay for the album in my house in my living room. Like,
I think sorry, go ahead.
I just think that the way that was handled by that particular person was terrible.
Yeah, I think when you hear comments like this, it feels like it's a good indicator that this person is like really desperate for money or something. And you'll see this in a lot of ugly ways on Twitch, where people are just sort of like, get to the point where they're like, please sub. Like, I need subs, I need money, I need bits, whatever. And like, maybe that's the truth, but again, like, this is not the place for that. Don't like guilt your viewers into giving you money. Like, that's not a viable way to grow a stream, man. That's not gonna work well.
I haven't eaten all day, please. I need your $2.50.
I think
dang pizza rolls.
God, I want pizza rolls. I think there's good ways to point out how that's going and how it's not going. Like SuperVid said, being open and honest with your community is, in my opinion, one of the most important things you can do, because you're growing that community. And if you're doing it in what I think is the right way, it's more of a friendship than I'm an entertainer, you're a reviewer. So if someone comes in and says, hey man, I know you've been full-time for 6 months, how are you doing money-wise? I'm not going to be like, I'm doing great. Like, I'm going to tell them honestly, like, I'm not making as much as I was. And then I'm going to drop it. I'm not going to beg them to give me money.
Right.
But I don't think it's a bad thing that people understand that this is your livelihood. And if they enjoy it enough and they are able to, that it's not a bad thing for them to give you money. Because it's the exact same thing as offering any other service. The only difference is I don't require you to pay me for my service.
Right.
I mean, even look at like Ninja, who is doing super well, and then I think part of the reason why he's dropped in subs is because he's complaining that he's losing subs and that he's putting out higher quality content, but he's getting less money now. So as soon as you start complaining about that, like you start expecting money, that's downhill from there. It has there's nothing good that can come out of complaining about not making enough money on Twitch.
Yeah,
Nothing
and I
all.
think that Ninja complaining about it of literally everyone ever put such a bad taste in people's mouth that they're like, okay, well, I don't want to give you any more money because you're kind of being a baby about it. Like, you make how much money off of Twitch and you're throwing a hissy fit about it? Like, most people will go after that top dog no matter what. It's, think about it in football terms. You have the New England Patriots. Everybody hates them because they're good.
Yeah.
So people are going to hate on the big guy. They always will.
What's football?
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is.
My headset died really quickly, guys. So please keep chatting about this. I
So
can't hear anything right now.
Rewind real quick.
Can you
Grease
say
is
all
just
that
smile
again?
and wave, boys.
Nod your head.
Yep.
Wow, interesting.
Sure.
Yeah,
I agree
totally.
with all of that.
I cannot.
Oh,
so I'm
man.
serious. I actually can't hear anything right now.
Hey, remember when we said we were gonna mess
Please
with
keep
GreenChord
talking.
before
We'll
the
get
show?
back.
This is us messing with
He's
Green.
messing with
One
us.
second.
My plan went into effect, guys.
Chat, we literally said we were gonna mess with Green podcast, and this is the time to do it. So everybody just throw some hearts in the chat for Green. You'll have no idea what's going on. Oh my god. Oh, so professional stream. Yeah, man. I don't know. Just complaining about money on Twitch though. That's never a good thing. It's not a
He's
good
just
look
not-
at all.
He's not seeing enough movement. He's not seeing enough of that movement in his bank
No, he's
account.
not. Yeah, right.
Bank account's not flossing enough.
We
I
gotta
see
pump
plenty
those
of the
numbers up.
movement in it. Granted, it's backwards, but I see plenty of it.
All right. I can hear again.
Oh man, we
Oh,
were.
wow.
oh man, we
Amir,
gotta stop talking
Whoa.
smack now.
Yeah, man, I can't believe you said that about Green MPI.
Yeah, right. Jeez, dude.
Man, he's our sponsor.
Jeez.
All right. Well, now that we're back, we do have a caller, which is our good friend Vlad, who calls in every single week. So let me go and add him to the call here. Vlad always has great accent and great clothes every time he comes in. You'll see what I mean when he joins.
Yes. Yes.
Great accent and great
Yes.
clothes.
Yep. Generally, although maybe no camera today. Vlad, what's up, man?
Hello, everybody. Let's see.
Huh? Wait for it.
There it is.
There you go. How's it going, man?
I'm pretty good. I'm rocking the PJs today. I didn't feel like putting the super suit on.
Good enough. It's all right. We'll forgive you this time.
Superheroes need a day off.
Yeah.
Hey, Autumn, it's starting to chafe. I need to get like some baby powder or something.
Ooh. Spicy.
So, what did you want to chat about on the stream today?
So I was wondering, guys, if you had any advice for doing charity streams to help raise money for whatever purposes, but kind of what were your guys' experiences for charity streams?
I'll start with this one. I did a whole video on this actually on the TRUgaming account. There's a lot of stuff to consider. Some of the big points are I would start at least like a month out. Give yourself a lot of time to get ready for it and like make banners and posts. I would definitely recommend reaching out to the charity that you want to work with to see if you can coordinate on something. Like maybe they'll shout you on social media. Maybe you can work out like some giveaways and things like that. Those are some big ones. Also, try to use a third party or a direct, I should say, method to give to the charity as opposed to like PayPal, a third party. So like Tiltify is very good. So you don't ever touch the money. That's the big thing. If you use PayPal, you can do that, but you your viewers just have to trust that you'll give it to the charity. Whereas if you use Tiltify, or some charities will have like campaign links you can set up, and you can still track those via Streamlabs and things. That's the best way to do it, because then it's never on you to give the money. It's just going straight. As soon as the person in your chat gives the money, the charity has it. There's no waiting involved. So those are like my three big pieces of advice, I would say. But we've all done charity streams here. We've been part of our own charity streams. So maybe starting with MPI, because I know you do a lot. What are your kind of thoughts on charity streams?
Yeah, so I love charity streams. I think they're amazing. Doing what you love and giving back to a charity at the same time that you're passionate about is amazing. Like Green said, definitely hype it up as much as you can. Talk about it whenever you're streaming. Say, don't forget, guys, we got a month until the charity stream's coming up. Post it on Twitter, Facebook, make even a YouTube video about it, talking about it, anything to get people's attention. I think it's really good to reach out with the charity to say, hey, this is why I'm passionate about your charity. I really want to help you guys raise some funds. Maybe they'll help shout you out on social media. They might even have some resources that they want you to use, like the logos or videos, for example. I know like we had a video for, I believe it was Stiggy's Dogs, didn't we? I know when I've done my own charity streaming with Heart Support that I'm partnered with, they give us all kinds of videos. I have 5 different scenes of videos of Heart Support that just talk about different things that they do. Another really cool thing to do is to have donation incentives. Say, and you don't have to do it as a bulk of money. So like what I did when I did my first charity stream was every $25 donated, and that was added up to $25, not just a $25 one single donation. We'd spin a wheel. That wheel would have, a Steam key giveaway on it. I'd eat a Bean Boozle bean, which Bean Boozle beans. Or it would have a workout that I had to do on it. Something that gives back to the chat that's there, even if they're not able to donate. So, the Steam key, the way I did it was, if that's picked, everyone in chat can enter, whether or not you have donated or not. A lot of people try to set it up that you have to donate to get into it, which is technically against terms of service. So don't do that. That's bad. That's considered gambling.
Yep.
So donation incentives for me are a huge thing. A huge thing. Because it'll keep people going. And if it's an incremental thing of like 5, 10, however you want to do it, that could be 10 people donated $1. And you're more likely to continuously get donations that way, I think, and keep it going.
Yeah. Okay. One thing that we do at the TRUgaming charity streams is both personal and group incentives. So like if you as a person donate $20, you get this thing. But if collectively we raise $1,000, then we'll raffle off this one thing to everyone, something like that. That way you reward both individual and big group events. So that's pretty cool to do.
Awesome.
Vel, you've done a few charity streams too, right?
Yeah, I mean, mostly with TRUgaming, like helping kind of plan those. One thing I'll say is that try to find a charity organization that nobody really has heard about and one that you're super passionate about. Something that's different than all the other ones that you really do want to try to raise money for, because it'll your passion for it will show. For me, Stiggy's Dogs is my favorite, and it makes a huge difference if it's something that's kind of unique and something that you just really want to help the cause for.
Definitely agree. Be passionate about what you're raising money for, right?
Definitely.
Cool. Absolutely.
SuperV, you have any thoughts on charity streams?
I've only done the TRUgaming charity streams, and that's mostly because the leeches in my chat definitely don't have the money. They're just leeching my content. Nah, but for real. I don't do personal charity streams because, like, I've been taking a couple of breaks here and there. I feel like my audience is not like all of the effort that I would have to put in to donate to this charity. It's a lot more beneficial for me to do it with TRUgaming because that audience is already there. Whereas if my audience were to start getting a little bigger and to start coughing up some of that money, then I could definitely see that being something I'd like to do. But like I said, most of it's just I've done with TRUgaming, where everything's been set up and I just have my time slot, come and work my shift, clock in, clock out,
Back to the old grind.
Oh man, another day, another dollar.
One quick thing I want to add on to there is like a whole overall thing. Don't use charity streaming as a way to grow your channel, because I hear a lot of people who do that, or like maybe you won't actually say it and like you'll put the guise of, I'm doing this to support the charity, but like in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, this is what'll do it. This is what'll grow my channel. That's not going to happen. Like, just statistically, you're not going to go to your channel doing that. But B, like, that's really kind of messed up because you're using a charity to benefit yourself instead of the charity. So don't do that.
It's not for the benefit of you. It's for the benefit of everybody that the charity is helping. Like,
right.
Yeah, man, I'm going to raise so much money for those cancer survivors. They'll never know what hit them when I grow my Twitch channel off of the stream. Like, okay, dude.
So I think that's a pretty good slew of things for charity streams. Vlad, do you have any other thoughts or questions about them?
Nope. Super helpful as always. I appreciate it, guys.
Sure, man. Thanks for calling in again. Thanks for being so loyal.
Sure. Oh yeah.
We'll see you later, man. Yeah, you too.
See you, man.
Awesome. All right, so we have another caller. We have a lot of callers today. I'm very excited about that. Next caller is Little Cal, I believe. Little Cal 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Someone added
last
call.
week.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna add low call to 10 right. Low Cal 10 to the call. That's hard to say. Low Cal, what's up, man? How's it going?
What's going on, guys?
Not too much. How are you, dude?
Pretty good. Can't argue with it.
Cool. What do you want to chat about today?
So I kind of got two separate questions. My first question is basically for giveaways because I'm early in my affiliate and I'm still trying to grow my channel. Do y'all think that giveaways early on, like I got mine set up at like 20 and then every 20 thereon until I reach like 200 subs and then I'll start doing it by hundreds? Do you think those are a good idea?
Didn't you guys do this with your subs right now? You have like giveaway incentives or anything?
I used to for follows. I stopped doing that though one time because one of my viewers shared my stream to another guy, and he joined my stream while he was streaming, and he goes, "This guy only grows his channel with giveaways," and I was like, "Yikes, brother! That's not true at all." But okay. So ever since then, I haven't done it, just because like I don't want that stigma, dude. I don't want to be that guy. Yeah. I thought it was a very good idea though, especially with having like a goal at the top of your stream, like give away like a Burger King gift card at like 1,500 followers. You know, like that's what I use
right
Burger
now
King.
for that.
Yeah, not the,
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm not shelling out the money for that McDonald's, but I got you with the Burger King. Something more affordable. Get some 20 10-piece nuggets.
There you go. That's some value.
But yeah, I've always thought it was a good idea.
Okay. MPI and Vel, what do you guys think about that system of giveaways for subs or followers or anything like that?
I don't know that it's a bad thing, but I wouldn't rely on it alone. I think there are better things that you can do as far as celebrations. So like, for example, whenever we reached 100 subs on my channel at one point, I said, all right, cool, we're going to do a 12-hour stream now. So, or like, you know, say you reach X amount of followers, you'll shave your beard or dye your beard or something like that. It's still entertaining and it's funny for your community to be involved in, but it's not where you're not going to run into someone like SuperV1d did where they're like, I mean, this guy just gives stuff away and he expects people to show up. So it's like, it's a hard line to walk too, because if you do giveaways a lot, sometimes that's the only reason people will show up. Is they'll see giveaway in the title and they'll go, I don't even know what he's giving away, but I want it. And then as soon as the giveaway's done, they'll leave. You might keep and retain a few people from it, but it's not a perfect thing to do for growth. I think it's not a bad thing to do, but don't rely on it for growth.
Yeah, I also want to mention that you taught during the charity stream question that you shouldn't do like pay to enter giveaways. Right. Be careful with doing sub only giveaways because that could still kind of be considered pay to enter, and it's still kind of gambling. So if you're gonna do a giveaway, make sure it's for like the whole community and not just subs.
And if you want subs to maybe have a better chance of winning, do it with a point system like TRUgaming does. You know, they get bonus points for being subbed and chatting and things like that. That way it's a longer process of people earning points and using them to enter rather than saying, well, you know, just whoever's in chat on Monday night gets a chance to win. That way you're more likely to reward a loyal viewer who's always there, and it'll be a longer process of people wanting to gain entries.
Cool. Vel, you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, I just I don't really advertise when I do them often, but if I do end up doing a giveaway, it'll be like a random thing where I'll just do I'll let it pick between active users in the chat, and like they won't know they won anything until it says that they've won something. You know what I mean? I don't put it on Twitter or in the title, anything like that.
It's kind of cool, like surprise giveaways almost.
Yeah, for sure. Just for the people that are there at that current moment.
That's pretty cool, actually. I like that a lot. So Locale, you have any follow-up questions or thoughts on this?
That was that for the sub giveaways because I was gonna do every 20 until we reached a certain point, but y'all made some good points and I probably should switch up how I'm doing that. My other question, if you don't mind me asking, is do you think music in your stream deters or entices people to show up? Because I have a different taste in music. Like I like Christian music and country and like 90s rock. And sometimes, like the other day, I got up to 16 viewers. I started playing music, and I saw that start going down. And I don't know if it was because of the music or because of my actual personality.
Well, that's a loaded question. In terms of like knowing why people are leaving the stream, that's a dangerous game to play because it can, like sometimes people have to go to bed, some people have to go to work. Like that, it's nothing with the stream; they just can't watch anymore. Versus people who are actually leaving because it's not interesting. So I wouldn't like play that game of, you know, this must be what's causing it. I'll stop doing this. It's still good to look at your trends, and if you see something that's working, keep doing that. But don't like hit yourself if something you just keep losing viewers for some reason you can't rely on. It could just be natural stuff happening. As far as music goes, though, that is a very divisive question. In terms of, should you play music at all on your stream? Should you play, well, make sure you're playing copyright safe stuff, ideally, because we all do that, right? Right, guys? Nod your heads. Yep.
Only.
Dude,
Only.
I only play copyright safe music. What do you mean? I just bang pots and pans together for my music.
I literally just talked to a copyright lawyer yesterday for this show, so if you guys want to unpack that can of worms, listen for that soon. But in terms of like what music you should play, it's really tough because some people think you shouldn't do music at all so that viewers can listen to their own thing. Plus, you're safer in copyright stuff. Some people kind of build the music as part of their brand on stream. Like, SuperV1d was over here talking about the vaporwave music and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And, Veli is kind of known for the Backstreet Boys stuff at this point. So, I feel like it sort of depends on what you want to do with your channel and your brand. You guys agree?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too depends on what kind of game you're playing. If you're playing a multiplayer game like Overwatch or Apex or something like that, playing music in the background I don't think is a bad thing because there's not a story that people are following. If you're playing something like Fallout or anything with a story, the music is going to get in the way. I have a very, very particular taste in music too. And I know that not everyone enjoys that. So a lot of times I just keep it out of my stream. And I kind of just, if I'm going to play music, it's only during like my starting screen or my be right back screen. And it's usually, like a lo-fi hip hop kind of thing. It's just like chill beats and that's about it. Because I listen to some pretty aggressive music that I know not everyone wants to hear. And that's fine. Not everybody likes the same thing I do. So I think trying to kind of work it in there, if at all, it needs to be maybe something that's very, very broad, like something that's just a beat that's constantly played in the background or something. Maybe even just don't have lyrics at all.
Yeah, it's sort of depending on what you're playing can impact that too, for sure. Like a single player game that already has music, don't play music already over top of that. For sure.
Yeah.
SuperV1d, you have thoughts on it at all?
I tend to play music for most games that I play because my attention span is kind of like that of a squirrel on drugs. So I need something in the background to entertain me while I'm trying to entertain my viewers, I find that if you're worried about music, you're worried about like, oh my God, maybe my viewers don't want to listen to Vaporwave for the 10th time today. Like, I always find it's kind of safe to put song request on as long as you have a mod to like moderate it, or if you have it open in another window. I think song request is a really good way to interact with your viewers, even though sometimes they can request some things that are unsafe. I think the risk is worth it because your viewers get to listen to what they want to listen to on your stream, and it's all around just a fun time.
I do want to say, after talking to the copyright lawyer yesterday, it sounds like they're going to be cracking down pretty hard on music this year with streams and content, especially with like Article 13 going out, stuff like that, or potentially going out. So be careful, because while it has been, I would say 90% of people play copyrighted music on their streams on Twitch and you don't get in trouble for it. Be careful, because this might be the year that it turns into a problem. So just be aware, especially with like, if you're into, Christian and country and that kind of music, you're not going to find copyright safe music versus like electronic or something. So just be careful, but it's kind of a judgment call that you want to take for sure. Vel, any thoughts to add here?
The music that I do play, I usually try to keep it kind of low, to where if they do want to listen to their own stuff, they can still listen to their own stuff and hear me over my music and everything. I also like, I know not to play certain genres of music. Like I really like old school hip hop, which can be kind of aggressive. And I don't play that on stream. Even though I really like Tupac and Biggie and stuff like that, I don't play that too much. So just kind of like know your audience on Twitch. You know what I mean? Like not everybody's gonna like old school hip hop, just like not everybody's gonna like Christian music. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. And the popularity contest, I think like electronic kind of music or lo-fi stuff like that would win in general on Twitch across the board.
Right. Yeah, that's the big thing about music is you're not gonna please everyone with your music choice. Oh, someone's always not gonna like it. So, you shouldn't play that game where you're trying to make everybody happy because you're just not. So
it's impossible.
Yeah, I would say like in general, just do whatever you want to do. If you don't want to use music, don't feel like you have to. If you like a certain kind of music, try to find a way to make it work, as long as you're not into some bizarre thing that people literally just leave the stream as soon as they hear it.
You mean you don't like Gregorian chant, Green?
Well, it's all right.
Dude, that's bomb. All my SoundCloud is, dude.
I prefer 20s swing personally, but I don't know. So, Locale,
20s
though,
big band swing is good.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Locale, you have any thoughts or follow-up points on this?
No, I was just on the fence about the music thing because I originally didn't want to do any music because I'm a hardcore sweat and I like to hear sound, especially when I play battle royale games and search and destroy on COD and stuff. So I was on the fence about the music thing, but a lot of y'all's points I haven't even considered. So I'm probably going to go back to not having music in my stream because it's just easier for me.
Yeah, it
and
really is easier.
That way I can be more competitive because I like to win. I'm a sore loser.
Yeah,
right there with you.
I really think that the universal rule for like all of these questions, just be yourself, do what you want to do. People will come. You know?
Well, now we don't need Stream Key anymore, so thanks, Supervid.
Well,
yeah, I solved all your guys' problems. Look, it's done. We did it.
I don't know. I could go into a whole. We'll save that for later if we have time, because I actually have thoughts about that little, that cliche, I guess. But we'll save it for later. But Locale, thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all's advice.
Yeah, man.
Cool. We'll talk to you later, man. Thanks.
Just so you guys know, Green thinks you shouldn't be yourself on Twitch.
Nope.
That's what he's saying.
You should be mean.
At all times.
Mr. Verde thinks you should pretend to be someone you're not.
Senor Verde, okay.
Well. Again, we'll get into that with time. I want to open a can of worms there. But next caller is Rambicos, who's been waiting for a bit. So I'm going to add Rambicos to the call right now.
Ramby.
We'll see what he has to say. Rambicos, you there? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going good.
Thanks for calling in.
I'm guessing you guys are all good as well, because you've been saying that every time.
Well, we're doing badly now, actually, yeah.
It's gone down.
Yeah, it's gone. It's over.
All right, so my question is, since Twitch is a very technical platform, technical problems arise, so on and so forth. I know MPI, you have some knowledge in this, or just technical things. But how do you feel like you have learned how to deal with technical problems arising during your stream? And do you have any certain instances that you've now learned from and grown past while you have been streaming?
Can I just say that my headphones literally just went out like 30 minutes ago and I had to keep on the fly. I feel like that's kind of the thing about live streaming is like you can prepare as much as you want, but something's always going to come up and you just got to be able to adapt to it. So, but I'll let MPI kick this off.
So I think that I have a little bit of a different, or almost a lucky background, in that I spent a lot of time working in theater and doing live productions. So lighting, sound, projection, construction, everything like that. I did that for years. So doing things on the fly and dealing with it live isn't something that I'm not very familiar with. You know, it's something I got very used to. And there was a phrase that we had, which was screw it, we'll do it live. Of it's gonna happen, we're gonna just have to deal with it. I think just like saying to your chat, hey guys, we're having some troubles, I'm having some technical issues, give me a second, I just got to work it out. And really the only thing that I've ever encountered that I wasn't able to overcome was my internet issues. I had some problems with my ISP where my upload speed just didn't work, and it turned out to be that their service just didn't work anymore, and there was nothing I could do about it. But it's like Green said, it's gonna happen. It always will. Nothing's perfect. Technology's great when it works, but goofy little things happen, and sometimes you just have to turn it off and back on again. And I think what I've always done is if I ever have to restart stream or the computer or anything like that, is I pull up chat on my phone and I keep chatting with people while I'm in that process. Just like, hey guys, rebooting right now. I'll be back as soon as I can. Or, hey, computer went down. I got to do this. So it's definitely something that just don't let it stress you out. Don't get too frustrated or upset with it or let it ruin your stream or your day, because it's going to happen. And screw it, man. Just do it live.
See, there you go. Stuff like that happens. You just gotta roll with it, man.
That's my brother calling. Hang on.
SuperV, you have thoughts on this?
Okay, so I know everything I have learned from just technical aspects of streaming, I've learned by streaming and then encountering the issue and then asking my chat what to do frantically while I try to just do everything I already know, and then ultimately just Googling it and hoping for the best. Like I had this really bad issue with my capture card one time, and I spent like 2 or 3 hours just like, chat, I don't know what to do, man. And I just kept unplugging it and plugging it back in until it worked. So from then forward, I just figured, just ask my chat. Someone will say something and I can blame it on them if it doesn't work.
There you go. Always blame Twitch chat for all your problems. That's
Twitch chat. I can't believe you tell me to do this.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Valley, what do you think, man?
I like to try to make a meme out of the situation. So like I had an issue where my mic stopped working once. Like my mixer was picking it up, but the stream couldn't hear me, and I had no idea what it was. So I turned on a yelling cover of Chandelier, and it's a horrible song. It's so annoying.
Yeah, boy.
But, like I've made my chat listen to it, and I'm like, like I'm laughing at the chat like while I'm trying to fix things. You know what I mean? Because like you still got to try to figure out a way to make everything entertaining. And if you can troll even though they can't hear you, and like while you're trying to fix things, like you're still kind of streaming in a way, even though you're not necessarily on stream. You know what I mean? Like there's things that you can do to make light of the situation and try to take the tension off and make it seem like you almost planned it. You know what I mean? Like if you can just roll with the punches, yeah, like almost like it's scripted. Like roll with the punches, try to make it into a funny situation, and I mean for me it's worked out.
I agree with that. Like that's the thing about live streaming is you can do all this preparation for it on the technical side. You're just going to run into some issue that no one's ever had before or that you can never find. And a lot of it just comes down to doing it again and again until you just learn how to get over these types of things, for sure. I mean, even the podcast, this is like our 96th, 95th episode. Still running into issues. That's just how live streaming is. So as long as you have the ability to kind of like take a step back and take a deep breath and deal with it, then I think that's the important skill to learn there, is what I would say. Cool. Any other follow-up questions or thoughts there?
Not really, no.
Okay. Cool, man. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
No problem. See you guys.
We'll talk
Bye,
to you later.
Ramby.
Ramby.
Ramby. That's what I call him.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's like Bambi.
Bambi.
Or Randy.
So we don't have any callers right now, so calls are wide open, guys. We have a couple questions, though, so hang tight. I'm going to read off subs really quickly because a bunch of people subscribed, so thank you, guys. That was Hitman, Bloodhunter, Triga Finga Itchin. That's a hard word to say. Ramikos, Veloc TV, Chevrolet, and SuperVid. So you both just subscribed. Thank you, guys. Thanks for all the subs and supporting what we do here, guys. Appreciate you. Next question comes from Roy O Radio. Said, what is the biggest piece of advice you can give to a very new streamer / content creator? This is a great question. I asked this actually at the end of all the interview shows, but we'll just go around the table here. So I'm going to kick this to Vel first. What's your biggest piece of advice to someone who's brand new to streaming?
I think there's no consistency with viewers. There's always going to be dips, peaks, and plateaus, and there's not too much you can do. The best thing is just keep trying to do your best to be a entertaining streamer and just push through it. Like, it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to control it. Just like I said earlier, roll with the punches and keep pressing on, I guess. Gotcha.
Fair enough. MPI, what do you think, man?
So I see very new, and I'm thinking person who's maybe not done a live stream at all, or is maybe, on their 5th one. And I think my biggest thing would say, don't overthink it. Push go live and just do it. That's the biggest thing, is getting over that first hurdle of just doing it. Once you start doing it, everything else starts to, you kind of learn. Just like Green said, you adapt, you can overcome. You'll start to learn what you like to do on stream, what's not working, what you don't enjoy, what you do enjoy. So if I have to give one piece of advice to a very new streamer, it's just hit go live and just start doing it.
That's actually my biggest one too, because at the end of the day, having bad content, even if like you're concerned that my stream's not right, I have bad lighting, my mic's bad, my whatever it is, having bad content is better than having no content. So may as well put something out there and just do what you're trying to do in the first place. SuperV1d, what's your piece of advice for people here?
My piece of advice is to just have fun. Because for me, like, I want to stream, we talked about leeches earlier, but like, I want to stream because, I want to be able to make content, make people happy. But my ultimate end goal is to be self-sufficient and have, be able to pay whatever bills and still, make content. So right now, I always say, like, I would rather be struggling as a Twitch streamer than being in a job that I hate. So like, if you're not having fun while you're streaming and you hate it, why would you keep doing it? Don't do something you hate. That's stupid.
Right.
Just have fun with it. It's like, if you hate Fortnite, don't play Fortnite. Go play something different. Like, do what you think will be fun. That's just my piece of advice.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And it's cool that you mentioned that. Like, you'd prefer it to be enjoying yourself more in general, maybe like struggling with financials or whatever else doing Twitch streaming, than to maybe make more money on a job that you can't stand or something. Like, that is why I think, going back to that leeching discussion, that's what matters, is like, you understand going into Twitch streaming, you're not going to be making a ton of money. Probably you'll make some, maybe, but not as much as working at a job or something else. So you made that choice. Don't get mad at viewers for not giving you money when you're
not paying me. I made more money as a barista at Starbucks.
It's like, man, I just can't believe that happened. But that's why I go back to goals too. And to go back to SuperV1d, I would also figure out, like, are you doing this for fun or are you doing this as a business? Because that's a big path that matters. And I think people get tripped up one way or the other. So like, people go into it as a business, and then they get upset when I'm not having fun, or I have to play these games I don't want to play. It's like, well, you decide you want to make it a business, so whose fault is that? And then vice versa. Like, if you just do it for fun and you're like, I'm not growing, I'm playing Fortnite, but no one's watching me. Well, yeah, because you're not doing anything people want to watch. So just get clear
nobody
on
wants to watch Fortnite. Heard it here first, guys.
Well, whatever it is, the point is,
if you're watching it, you're wrong. That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
Like, just to be honest with yourself. So anyway, I think that really matters. Just, and go back to that constantly, because it's easy to kind of get that in your mind. Like, maybe you really are just doing it for fun, but then you feel bad because your friends are going faster or other people are growing, but you're not doing it for growth. You're doing it for fun. Right. That matters a lot.
Yeah, it's always good, because sometimes I feel like I get caught up in that, where it's like, I see people get like really huge, and I'm sitting here, I feel like I have like building blocks in my hands or something. Like I'm a little kid in like diapers.
Those old giant mega blocks that were like this big.
Just drooling all over myself. Like, what am I doing? It's a lot. It's really helpful to take that step back and really ask yourself what you're doing, and then go out live on Twitch and ask for more money.
Exactly.
Because that's what it's all about.
Don't forget to be a jerk.
Yes, you grow faster if you're a toxic jerk. Yes, we talked about that earlier.
Yes, confirmed. It's science has proven that actually.
100%.
Be toxic to the people who aren't paying money, especially. Okay.
Yeah.
You only paid me $5. What do you think this is, a charity?
I do want to mention too, a small thing that's helped me recently with that is if you write down like why you're streaming each time before you go live, that little action can really help you to keep your mindset right. Even just saying like, I'm doing this to make other people happy, or I'm doing this because I just want to have fun playing this game. It takes like 5 seconds to do, but that'll really kind of change how you look at your stream over time. So I'd recommend that. Next question is from Hitman Bloodhunter. That's a brutal name. Said, how did you all first hear about Twitch? What drew you to it, and what were your first impressions of the website? Okay, so let's go in reverse order here. SuperVid first. How did you find out about Twitch? What drew you to it?
So the first Twitch stream that I ever watched was EVO 2013. EVO is the worldwide prestigious fighting game tournament.
Rip Melee.
I had no idea what Twitch was. And I was like, oh, somebody's playing Street Fighter. That's cool. I was just getting in my esports phase, you know? Like, esports are the real sports. What the heck's a football? That edgy phase of, like, middle school. So I realized, like, oh, dang, this is a website for streaming. And so I finished watching EVO. And then I just went to RuneScape, I think. And from there, you know, it's history. I then decided that I wanted to make memes for a living. So here I am.
That's the best way to make memes for a living. Right here on
Twitch.
That's what it's all about.
Meme chef.
Yep.
My currency is me. Dude, I got the hot recipes for the newest upcoming memes.
Ooh, you heard it here first.
I can't share the industry secrets, but you know where to find me.
MPI, how did you first get onto Twitch? What drew you to it?
So I think I actually first found Twitch through Halo, MLG events back in the day. It went from, there was one point where they actually showed it on USA Network for Halo 2, and then Halo 3 they moved to Twitch, and that's kind of where I found it, was watching those events. And then over time as it grew, I started to realize there were other things out there too, and not just companies hosting big events. It started to become more open to, you know, everyone at their house could stream if you had the equipment. And over time, I started watching more and more people who were individuals with smaller communities, more tight-knit communities. And at that time is when I was making videos for YouTube. And there's like no interaction on YouTube if you're not a big creator. Your comment section, you might have 4 or 5 comments, and then you forget about them because they're YouTube comments and you just don't see them. So I kind of started saying, you know, I want to have an actual interaction with people. And then I just started streaming on Twitch.
Very cool. So big events. I think I'm actually the same way. I started watching with the League of Legends events, and very similar to MPI. I just kind of followed that rabbit trail.
Exactly.
Veli, how did you start out on Twitch, man? What drew you to it?
I heard about it way back in high school, like for Halo 3 and stuff like that. I knew a lot about like Walshy and all that stuff, but I never really watched it back then until maybe 5 years ago or something like that, maybe 4. Either way, I found Tim the Tatman because I was really into CSGO and I wanted to watch some stuff about it, see if I could learn anything from better players. And Tim the Tatman was the first streamer I actually enjoyed watching, and I kind of figured I might as well give it a shot. I like to play CSGO and I like to talk to people for the most part, so I just tried streaming after that.
There you go. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of, it's kind of interesting because it's bigger things going on, right? Whether it's Tim the Tatman or Evo or Halo, these big streams that kind of draw you in, and then you work your way down slowly to the smaller stuff and think that maybe you could do that, and then eventually start doing it.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Good question from Hitman Bloodhunter. Thanks for that. Okay, so next question is from Marcy796. It says, what do you do when there is an issue between your mods? Have you guys ever had a mod civil war of any kind in your channels?
He is my mod, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let you guys answer this one.
He is your mod?
I can't. He is my mod, yeah.
Okay. All right. MPI or Velly, have you guys had this issue before?
Wait, so mods are
so mods are
arguing with each
conflicting.
other?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that sounds like a big just pile of drama that I wouldn't want to deal with as a streamer. Like I hate drama so much, man. Like if it gets to the point where it starts affecting your channel, reach out and say something. Like you got to realize how hard you work on Twitch to at least start streaming whenever you do, and then to put on the show that you do during your stream. You can't let anything affect that, especially super dumb drama. Like you can't let that affect everything you've worked for and everything you try to do every day. Yeah, you just have to, you got to kind of draw the line to say, this is it, like no more. And if you want to keep going, then that's fine, but you're not gonna be a mod here. You just can't let drama affect your channel.
Zero drama allowed in the Velly stream, guys. Don't forget.
No drama.
MPI, what do you think about this topic?
I really agree with what Vel said. I hate drama. I hate when people just have to make everything more difficult than it needs to be. And instead of just going, cool, you think this way, I think this way. We're, humans. We can move on with it. If it's something that is taking place, especially in chat between mods, shut that junk down. Say, hey, look, guys, I love you both. You're both my mods. You're clearly a mod for a reason because, I trust you. I think you understand the vision that I have for this channel and community, and you agree with it. If you guys need to settle something, take it to the DMs. And if you can't work it out, or if it needs to be discussed between all the mods, I have a mod chat in my Discord that only mods can see. Discuss it there. If it can't be worked out, then we're going to have to figure out who's going to have to step down, or if it's between two people, sorry, you both might have to step down. I mean, it's a hard line to walk because if someone's your mod, they're likely a friend, and it's someone that you trust, and they understand what you want from your community and probably have similar beliefs that you do for that. And sometimes you just have to say, look, I appreciate you. I want you to be part of this community, but I just don't think you're a good fit to be a mod if you can't, handle a simple disagreement.
Yeah, this is really tricky with mods because I think in a lot of cases you've probably known that person for a long time if they're a mod in your channel. So you might be kind of hesitant to deal with stuff like that since you know them so well, but it's actually more important to deal with that because they're kind of a face of your channel and your brand too. So if you show favoritism to that person or kind of let them get away with something that you wouldn't let others get away with, that's gonna be really bad for your channel going forward. So it's even more important to address it, I would say.
Yeah, and I think you could almost look at it from like a company standpoint of, like you're the top dog, you're the owner of the company, and then you've got below you your mods, which are, management or franchise owners or whatever. And then below that you have viewers who are the customers. So the customers are coming in, they're going to see the mods, and if the mods are acting up or saying things that maybe aren't appropriate or that you would agree with, that's going to look like you would agree with that person even if you don't. So you may not even catch it at first. If it's something's happening in chat and the mod says one thing, a person could see that and immediately say, that streamer's a bad person, I don't want to be here ever again.
Absolutely agree.
I think mods might have disagreements. We're people. Everyone disagrees about something. No one is the exact same person. But I think that's where you need to be an adult about it and say, we're here to mod this channel, not to argue. If we need to argue, we need to go somewhere else and do it.
Right. The mods should know not to do it like during a stream in chat or something.
Exactly.
Right.
Cool. Thank you for the question, Marzi. Good question. It's a spicy one, so hopefully it helps you out.
Big spice.
Much spice. Okay, next question is from real quick, guys. We've about 17 minutes now, so it's kind of last call for questions. And again, if we haven't gotten to your question yet, joining the call is the best way to get on the show, guaranteed. You get to jump the line to do that. So just mentioning that. Next question is from ADZZ_S1. Ads. What should streamers do if their stream is failing? What tactics/strategies are used to make sure streamers don't waste their time? Social media, YouTube? This is kind of a two-part question, I would say, but
let me break out my notepad. I'm gonna need to take some notes.
So, okay, for someone who says my stream is failing, what would you guys say to that person? I'll start with Vel on this one.
Okay, so I've had to do I know SuperVid's had to do this too. He's currently going through like kind of restarting his stream essentially. All of 2017 I streamed for 1 to like 6 or 7 viewers the entire year, and that was like with being consistent and everything. And if your stream is like it's terrible, it really is. Like, it's so hard to enjoy that. But like, if you don't love the grind of streaming, like day in day out, like even if that day sucks, if you still didn't enjoy any aspect of that day, you're probably not streaming for the right reason. Like, if your stream is quote unquote failing, are you still enjoying that day of streaming, whether you had people to talk to or not? Like, are you still having fun playing video games, broadcasting on Twitch with the possibility of people talking to you? Like, do you enjoy it? Like, are you having fun grinding it out and embracing the suck, essentially? Because that's what it is at first. Like, there's a lot of BS that comes with like the beginning of starting a Twitch channel, and if you don't like that part, it's going to be hard to get out of there. It's gonna be really, you're going to burn yourself out. You have to enjoy every shitty moment. Like, there's so many terrible times of being a streamer, especially starting out, and if you can't like rewire your brain to look at the positives of that bad day, then it's not gonna go well.
Big agree. MPI, what do you think about my stream is failing?
I think what you need to figure out is, what do you think is failing, and why do you think that is failing? Is it, you have leeches and you're not making enough money? Is it you're not having fun?
Yes.
SuperVid's like, well, that was mine. I figured it out. Is it just that you're not growing anymore, or you don't have enough viewers? What is it that you consider failing? And then you have to look at why it's happening. Do you have 2 or 3 viewers and the only thing that you ever play is Fortnite, and you put in your title Fortnite player, and that's it? Well, there you go. Maybe look at trying something different. And I think if you're doing the same thing every day and it's not working, look at it and say, well, what can we change? Are you playing Fortnite and not growing? Maybe try a different game. Are you streaming at odd times? Like, you're starting your stream at 2 a.m. Well, a lot of times people are going to bed, or a lot of other time zones are still in bed at that time. So you're hitting a weird lull of there's just no one awake on Twitch. Try different things. Try, experiment. Do you want to try maybe a different camera angle, even if you think that's what's bugging you? Just change it up, see what happens. Worst case scenario, you're in the exact same boat you're in now. It's not, it's not going to hurt you to try new things. If you have a built community at all, and you're starting to feel like maybe they're not showing up to as many streams, or they're just not coming out as often as they used to like Discord and chat and stuff like that, just ask them. Say, hey guys, have I done something different? Is there something that changed, or is there a change you want to see? Like, what kind of games are you guys interested in watching that maybe I haven't tried before, but I still enjoy? That's kind of what I did. Is I was playing, random games all the time that were multiplayer games that weren't bringing in viewers. And then I said, well, that doesn't work. Let's try a story-based game. I've always wanted to play this game, and it starts to pick up a little bit. So I think it's good to ask your community what they're into, and then also look at what you like and try something different if it's not working.
Yeah, so I asked ADZ for a little more clarification in the chat. We'll see if we get some more definition of what failing is. But SuperVid, in general, what would you say to someone who thinks their stream is failing?
All right, so this is going to come from a really personal, deep, dark place.
Ooh.
But for me, my stream is always failing. If I'm not getting people in my chat, I feel like they're not entertained. To me, that's like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. I guess my piece of advice is that there is no true solid piece of advice. What helps me is not going to help you per se, because everybody's audience is different. But what helps me is making a goal for my content, right? So playing a story game or reaching some sort of achievement, like platinum in Kingdom Hearts is what I've been doing. Just have something that you yourself can work towards and bring your audience with you, to whereas you're not constantly grabbing out for an audience. It's just something that you kind of like bring with you and enjoy what you're doing. You know, that's something that I personally still, even now, I'm giving this piece of advice like completely disingenuously because I still need to work on that. You know, I'm in the middle of kind of rebuilding and like getting back in track, getting everything back together again. But just have a goal in mind, like have something you yourself are working towards, that you yourself look forward to starting the stream every day, and people will just come with you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's just what I feel.
Right. If you set the goals like that, then you can get really clear on, are you actually failing by your own standards? Like, are you hitting your goals? Okay, yes. If not, then you're failing. That's a pretty easy measurement there. Now, setting the right kind of goals is a whole separate thing. But so ADZ did expand a little bit, who said, in terms of failing for them is inconsistency, even after trying as hard as possible, trying out different games, multiplayer, single players, etc. I'm not a streamer. It's interesting to see the views of actual streamers. So I guess kind of like inconsistency with your viewer numbers is sort of the biggest way I would look at that from day to day, even if you feel like you're putting the same energy in every time.
That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
That's just Twitch streaming.
That's what it is.
That's
No day is going to be the same every day. You know, it's the same thing as, you know, think about like a touring musician. They're not going to sell out every venue. You know, some nights you're playing for millions of people in a crowd. Some nights you're playing in a local bar that fits 25 people in it. It's part of it, you know. And I think just like Vel said, if you don't enjoy that grind and that work and seeing how things fluctuate and change, then it may not be the right business for you. You know, you could say, hey, I want to do it for fun now, and say, you know, it just didn't work out in working towards goals or growth. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it.
It's huge. I know that like me and MPI are both full-time streamers, and even with as consistent as we are with our stuff, I know that for me, I can see my numbers drop by over half sometimes. Like, it's just something that happens, and like the numbers might be back the same day, and it might be easy to say, well, at least you have viewers. That's not necessarily the case, because like when you do start getting viewers, it sucks seeing those numbers drop as much as they can.
Right.
It's never easy. There's never like oh well, have viewers, like, I'm happy. Yeah, I am happy, but at the same time, like, why did I lose those viewers? What's wrong with me right now? There's never a time where you feel safe. Ever. There's never a time. And I know that MPI can probably attest to that as well.
Yeah, you can't get comfortable with it, right? Because like you're never there really with Twitch streaming.
Right. As soon as you think you've made it, like that's as far as you're gonna go. So you know what I mean? Like you can never think like, oh, like so like I know like myself, I'm constantly on edge on like what I'm doing wrong. Like why are my numbers like this? Like, you know, like that meme in the mirror, like when you look in the mirror, it's like, why are you like this? Like, that's me every day on stream. You know, like it's never easy. It really isn't, like, no matter how many viewers you have. So it's part of that grind, man. Like I was saying earlier, like you have to love every second of it, no matter how many people are there or aren't there.
Yeah, I think that point's good, and you should always kind of be self-critical to an extent. Don't you know, be super anxious about it and always kind of doubting yourself, but it's not wrong to look at yourself a lot and reflect on, okay, what's working, what could be better, how can I challenge myself to be a little bit better each day, sort of.
Yeah. And I think once you start seeing growth, don't forget where you came from. You know, Vel, you said 2017 you streamed to like 6 people for a whole year while working your butt off doing it. But now look at where you're at and how many viewers you have. And you could see that number drop down from, let's say, like one day you have 30 and the next day you max out at like 19. You're like, man, where did those 11 people go? And it's so stressful. It really is. Yeah. What did I do wrong today? What did I do different today that I did? You know, it's the same thing I did yesterday. But then you can think about it again and go, well, man, I've moved this far. Like, I'm not failing. I am moving. It just may not be as fast as you want it to be. And there's no way to speed that up.
Right.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Great question from ADZ. So thanks for that. Hopefully that was interesting. So we have about 7 minutes left. So this will be our last question for today. This comes from Hitman Bloodhunter again. Says, what do you think about the Twitch TOS being so vague? Do you guys think a more clear TOS would be a better thing? As a more clear TOS could also end up having Twitch be more strict and enforce things more often as well. So do you think Twitch's TOS are good as they are? Should they be more or less strict? SuperV1d?
I think that Twitch's TOS are pretty straightforward right now. Like, it doesn't take very much thought to understand what you should and shouldn't be doing on Twitch. There are some things that are a little iffy, like, you know, just like, I remember when it first happened, this is like last year. Wow. It was like something about insulting other streamers or whatever, like talking crap. Like, I don't think that you could get much more clear than that. Like, it's not that complicated. I don't think they need to go that much further into it. I think what Twitch needs to focus on is actually universally enforcing their TOS, because there are people who consistently break TOS and get away with it. They need to be harsher. If they're going to impose the hard rules, they have to enforce them.
I agree with that. It's, I mean, if you look into the topic, there's pretty clear evidence that there's some favoritism with how the whole TOS, Twitch staff, bans, all that works. So it probably doesn't affect most of us, but at the high end, you can see it there. So that's a good point.
I think the wording on it is probably to their, it's better for them, because if it's broad, it's likely legalese anyway. The more broad that is, the easier they can say, no, that's covered. You know, if they specifically say, you know, you're not allowed to do this one very specific type of thing, you could say, well, I'll just do it the other way. And it's like, well, I guess you're technically right. You're a jerk, but you're right. So I think keeping it broad is actually probably the best thing that they can do, because it covers, you know, it covers their butt more than anything. But I mean, like SuperV1d said, and plug ski to True Talk, we had a conversation about this last night, is it needs to be enforced better. There needs to be, they need to hold everyone accountable to the exact same thing. Whether you have 5 viewers or you have 5 million viewers, it doesn't matter. If you're doing something wrong, you did something wrong, and you should be held accountable for it. You know, it doesn't mean that your account has to be completely closed forever, but maybe they need to say, hey, you're not allowed to stream for 24 hours because you broke this rule that we have. Whether you're Ninja or, you know, like I said, you have 1 viewer, it doesn't matter. You're no one. The way that I look at it is, it's the same thing with any other law. No one's above the law. You need to be held accountable for it.
Right.
Fair enough. Veli, what are your thoughts, man?
It's one of those things where, like, yeah, they do seem broad, but like MPI said, it's to cover multiple things instead of one exact situation. Like, I know someone who got banned basically for offending somebody, and it's definitely on the guy who was streaming. Like, if you feel like you're walking that line, you walking that line. Just don't do it. Like, if you're worried about being banned, don't do that thing that you're doing.
Oh like no, they need to make it explicit that I can't say another streamer's ugly.
It's so easy to not get banned on Twitch. You know what I mean? Like, just stream, don't offend people, and well, that might be harder than I'm saying right now these days. But like, it's one of those things, like, you just don't get into heated conversations about hot topics. Don't talk about certain things. Don't joke about certain things.
Don't
just
do
stream,
certain
have
things.
fun with, don't do certain things. You're not allowed to smoke crack on stream, believe it or not.
Oh god! Whoa! Oh, no!
I'm shutting down my channel.
Cover the camera.
Just don't toe the line. Just have fun with the people that are there and try to welcome you of a place as possible, and then you're good.
Yeah, I think I agree. In most cases, I think it's fine. There are people, like, if Twitch comes out and says they're going to be more strict or less strict with TOS, they're going to get so much hate either way. People will say, like, they're taking away free speech, or they're just letting anyone on the platform now, or, you know, you're never going to make anyone happy doing this.
Right.
But overall, I think they've done a good job. The biggest thing, like you said, is just being consistent with their enforcement policies would be a big step. Not even changing them, just being more, consistent, like I said. So cool. Great question there, Hitman Bloodhunter. Guys, that will do it for today. Now, if you asked a question, we didn't get to it, you can still join the Discord and ask there. We'll answer via DMs, via group chat, whatever. If you really have a question, we'd be happy to help you out that way. Or come back next week, which will be its own thing. We'll explain that. But real quick, do you guys want to just kind of go around and sign off, plug some stuff, etc.? SuperVid, anything to say to people?
Guys, I know all of you out there can't be leeches. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/SuperV1d for the highest quality memes. If you want to get some insider secrets in the meme market, I'm your man.
But only show up if you're going to pay money.
Yeah, there's a $10 admission fee, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll take care of that when you get here.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge once we get to it.
Right. MPI, anything to say, peeps?
Yeah, I mean, you can find me pretty much everywhere as Mr. Pure Instinct. Thursday nights, like Screen said, we have True Talk on the True channel now, hosted by me with my co-host Mallet Editor. So guys, always feel free to stop by there. It's always a good time. Other than that, yeah, just find me on social media or Twitch under Mr. Pure Instinct, just like you see below my name.
Sweet. And Veli, last but not least, what do you want to plug, man?
Got some YouTube stuffs up and stuff, and hopefully more coming up soon. But yeah, just thanks for having me on here again, and everybody, thank you for the great questions. We really like helping you guys out, and Stream Key is pretty cool. So
pretty cool. This is like episode 96, I think. We're getting very close to 100. I still don't know what we're doing for 100. I don't know, man.
It's gotta be bananas, dude.
Have every partner on.
Well, I was thinking one call. Do it from a playthrough, so we'll see if we can work that out. It might coincide. We'll see. We'll see. Speaking of, next week is gonna be kind of different because I won't be here, but apparently True Mama wants to host the show in my absence with Veli. So stay tuned on that, guys. That'll be very interesting. She's in the chat.
I'm gonna call from random location. I'm starting that next week. I'm gonna
prepare to not learn anything. It's gonna be weird.
Oh gosh. Well, in any case, hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, you can check out all the past episodes on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. I put the Spotify link there in the chat. Go check it out for 90+ episodes of this kind of stuff. And we'll see you guys next week for True Mama and Veli. Thanks for coming out. You guys are great. We're all clapping.